All right. Well,
First day back after a week. Talked to you a few days ago. We got to ease into it, but some of you guys are in pads too. How do you kind of balance that?
well, we just had shells on.
Okay.
Shells, helmets. We're still going through the no pads. You wouldn't know if you watched, just like you said. The energy was great. The tempo was great. Guys came back from spring break, and they were ready to roll. So good meetings this morning, good practice today. It'll be good to get into more of a rhythm now. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, we'll go for basically the rest of the way.
What does like the ramp-up process look like up until the spring game?
Well, you have to go a certain amount of practice just in helmets, so there's no pads on right now. So you'll ramp that up. You'll do more team stuff once the pads come on. You'll do more stuff live once the pads come on. Right now it's mostly tag tempo, so we're tagging the running back because no one's wearing pads. Once we get the shoulder pads on, we'll thud, so we'll wrap people up. And then once we get everything on, we'll do some live periods. Not sure about the spring game yet, but we'll see where injuries are at. You want to get through the spring healthy. That's the key. Because if anybody gets hurt, then they're going to miss the summer, which is crucial for the development, getting ready for the season. So it's a pretty easy progress schematically, too. If you looked at our call sheet today, we didn't run very much. We'll build it up. It's more about fundamentals and technique. So we'll build scheme. We'll build through the physicality. And then that will culminate with the spring game, and we'll see how healthy we are and go from there.
When you have that week off as a coach, you kind of sitting by the phone and maybe dreading a phone call or two, or is it just these are college kids and you hope that they're more committed to the team than outside stuff?
Yeah, I mean we've got really good kids. You always worry when you get time off that you always worry about them, right? But we've got good kids, so being at a place like BC with the types of guys that we get here. Probably a little less, but everybody made it back and healthy and practiced today, so we're in pretty good shape right now. But I understand the question.
In terms of like the schedule for next year, is that something you as coaches like already start planning for now, or is that more of a summer thing where you?
As far as the season goes, getting ready for the season, once spring is done, so right now we'll go through spring, and then the coaches go on the road, right? And then when we get back, we'll go through the spring cut-ups. And then once we're done with the spring cut-ups and we get into June, then we'll take a look at our first three opponents and we'll kind of do mock game plans for the first three. Because usually with your first two, you're not really getting any more film than you already have unless there's new coordinators. So we'll go through that in June a little bit.
I want to talk to you about Connor. Down year last year compared to his first year. How important is he going to be to this team, obviously, and just special teams in general?
Huge. I think, I showed the team today in the team meeting. He was 10 of 11 in the first practice, right? Today he didn't miss one. It's a new year. We've stressed a bunch of different things to him. We've gotten some guys to help him. But I have confidence in him. He had a great first year. We'll consider last year a bad inning, and we'll move on. And, I have confidence in him. But we're going to need him to make those kicks. Those are crucial, which is what we saw last year. Liam will compete with him, so there's definitely some competition. And just like in any other position, we're going to play the guy that gives us the best chance to win. So whoever's most consistent with the field goals and the extra point, they'll be our field goal kicker. Liam came on strong last year and won the kickoff battle. He's got a really strong leg. He's a really good athlete. So those guys are in it right now. But that's our job to create the competition and make those kicks. We got to make them.
In terms of the quarterback room, how has Emmett emerged as a leader throughout practice so far this year?
I think he's emerged as a leader throughout the offseason so far. I think he's got a really good relationship with both sides of the ball, offense and defense. And I think you saw that last year when he came in. It's not just the offense. He's also got the defense behind him. You can see that in the offseason workouts, how hard he works. You can see it in practice. I mean, he'll jog back and forth. Him and Donovan were kind of going at it today in a fun way. But it's been good. He's got a lot of leadership qualities. He's still, he has to gain experience and play more and more, but it's there. So hopefully we'll keep progressing.
The two O-line transfers, how are they kind of assimilating, and just how important is that early chemistry? It's only March, but getting those guys on the same page, how big is that?
Well, good. I think the biggest thing, it just creates competition and depth. Kevin Klein, who got hurt in Virginia Tech, came last year, and we thought he was taken off, and he's not even out there practicing. And now you got everybody who played last year with Christian back also. And then you bring in the two transfers with everyone else we have. So you can just see there's a heightened level of competition. Those guys who played last year had a taste of it and want more. and the guys who are returning that were injured want their jobs back, and then you bring in 2 transfers that want to take their jobs. So it's really competitive right now. But I think both Kyle and Logan have done a really good job. I noticed Logan today, he's got strong hands, man. I mean, I don't know who it was, but on a pass rush, he just kind of struck him, and the guy buckled. So that was kind of good to see. But we'll see how they progress. And then it will be the best 5 will play.
Kind of going off of that, how have you been working with Coach Applebaum to kind of retool the offensive line just for the season?
I mean, the nice thing is Matt knows a lot of these guys. Matt recruited most of these guys, like guys like Jude, Drew Kendall. He coached Ozzie, he coached Christian, so he already has a relationship with him. And then with Chud and Coach Simcoe and Matt, they're working through the scheme. Matt's got a really good eye in the run game, and with the protection stuff, and they're piecing it all together. So I think having that relationship helps. He knows the guys, and I think he's excited about the group. It's a group that went from who were we going to play on the offensive line and pull guys from the defense like we did last year to who's going to be the starting 5, which is night and day what it was last year. So we just got to stay healthy.
Just along those lines, it's only the second practice, but can you tell that things are kind of streamlined, maybe more so than this point last year, just because of similar voices and similar language?
Chud wasn't really part of the scheme and the structure of everything we're doing. So you got a whole new voice in there. The scheme's different. The terminology's different. I mean, it's like we've brought in the coordinators from the outside. This isn't just run what we've run. This is going to look very different, sound very different. I think there's an attitude and a different energy. I think that they're picking up the scheme pretty good. It's harder on the defense because they haven't seen much of this stuff. But there's some playmakers out there too. And Joe Griffin's not even practicing yet, but he will soon. George Takis isn't practicing yet, but he will soon. Team's got a good feel to it. And we got to build. We got to get better, and that's what spring's for. But it's very positive, and it's exciting right now.
Has there been like an adjustment period with all the new coordinators on both sides of the ball?
Defense, no, not at all. The scheme's not changing. The position coach haven't changed. There's nothing. We've added some stuff. We're going to continue to build and be multiple, but no, that hasn't changed. We haven't skipped a beat there. I think those guys are doing a really, really good job, and have Paul Rhodes, who has a ton of experience and knowledge in the room. I can already feel that presence he has, which is awesome. Azar and Sean. Azar's got a ton of juice to him in front of the room, he was really good today. He got them all fired up. I think you're going to see those guys maybe play with a little bit more juice. I think that will rub off on them. The offense, there's going to be some mistakes early, right? A lot of it's new. We haven't done it. And then, like I said, the defense is seeing stuff for the first time. So really competitive today. The offense started off hot, hit some big shots, and was running the ball really well. Then the defense came back and made a bunch of plays, which is really what you want to see back and forth at this point. Once the pads come on, I think it'll be a little bit more realistic too.
Cool.
You guys, that's okay. You guys good?
Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming out in the snow. I appreciate it. We'll see you Thursday. We'll start getting some other coaches so you don't get bored too.
Thank you.
See you, Coach.